Well, I guess it goes back to when I was in high school, taking marketing classes, typing classes, that kind of thing. It really just kind of kept through college. I was able to work at a place where I could use my skills that I learned in the classroom. I had to make a decision at that point: do I want to be a business teacher, or do I want to go into business for myself? But I decided that the business classroom would be a little bit better. Gary Hutchinson, I'm the Vice President for the Business Education Division. But the Business Education Division would be more of strictly business teachers, maybe teaching typing, law, management, that kind of thing. Basically, if we can convince counselors and people outside of ACTE to look, hey, these kids are getting the skills that they need by taking CTE courses, it's really going to be a big thing. Get out there and show what we're doing, and show that, hey, you can go to college to become a business person, MBA, that kind of thing, bachelor's in business administration, accounting, whatever. But you can also do it maybe through a junior college, maybe through an associate's degree, maybe through a technical school of some sort.
Family and Consumer Sciences is an organization that has family as its focus. We cover so many different areas that people don't really realize. When I do career education in all of my classes, when I do in my culinary, I don't let them do chef because everybody knows about chef. We talk about food photographer, the food stylist, and a lot of times the kids have no idea, oh, I had no idea that that even existed. My name is Charlotte Gray, and I'm the Division VP for Family and Consumer Sciences. It gives me the opportunity to do a variety of things, and things meaning that I can get into some culinary arts, I can get into child development, clothing, fashion, and really put a career focus on those areas for my students. When we have individuals come in and ask, are you teaching math, are you teaching English, are you teaching all of those other academic areas, and we can easily come out and say, yes, in culinary we're still teaching math. It's basic, but we're also teaching problem solving and trying to figure out how to get that product that we're making to be successful. I always go in and introduce those courses as this is a science class. You just happen to get to eat your experiment.
Guidance is really instrumental to all of the career pathways because students are bombarded with so many different types of choices these days when it comes to the world of work. An effective career counselor or school counselor is someone who can work with students about all different choices and letting them understand that there's more than just one good fit for them in the world of work. I'm Ray Davis, and I'm Vice President of the Guidance and Career Development Division of ACTE. The Guidance and Career Development Division is a division that's focused on how we work with students in the career decision-making process, how we take them through the process of self-exploration, exploration of the world of work, also awareness of different types of careers, and then also preparation for that transition into those post-secondary opportunities. Right now, ACTE is on the verge of probably their very best years to date in the United States with regards to the recovery that we're going through and then the new complexities of a global workforce. I feel CTE is really on the precipice of some really great years.
It's one of the fastest growing professions. Most of our health programs are full. If we could offer more programs that could find more instructors, we'd do a lot more training in the health field. I'm Jenna Riggs, and I am the Vice President for Health Science Education Division of ACTE, and I'm actually an EMS Director and run a paramedic program in Oklahoma. I think eventually people are going to realize as we get more budget cuts and Perkins funding cuts that our national organization is really important for funding. Can't fill enough nursing slots, as you know, even paramedic slots, and we have to have this funding at the state and the national level, and there's nobody that lobbies for that more than our state and national Career Tech Association.
To really realize how crucial CTE is to the success of students in the world today. I don't care if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, you still need to understand a career and technical education, and you need to have those soft skills that we can teach. And you may be able to do calculus, but can you talk to somebody? And so CTE is really what gives that to students. I'm Leanne Dinsdale. I am from Texas, and I'm the Vice President of the Marketing Education Division. And I think it's really important that you have a skill, a career and a technical thing that you can do. And I've changed my tagline on all my emails to Career and Technical Educator because I think I'm not just a marketing teacher, I'm so much more than that. And my role on ACTE has allowed me to reach out and tell the people that I've met, marketing teachers from all across the country, as well as ag teachers and technical teachers, and I didn't even know they did those things. I just have the best job in the world, to be able to talk to kids about real life, to be able to talk to business people about what our kids can do, what we have to offer, and then to be able to come to DC and talk to Congress people and say, look what our kids are doing. Look how amazing and how much more successful they are when they're in a career and technical education program.
I expect CTE to get stronger and stronger. People are beginning to realize that the areas other than just a formal four-year education need to be partnered with those hands-on technical skills, and I think that's where CTE's heart is. I think it's CTE's time to shine. I am Sherry Adrian. I am the Vice President for New and Related Services. New and Related Services is a division that has multiple sections in it. So when we have maybe an emerging division or a division that doesn't have enough people to actually, or enough members to actually have their own vote, New and Related Services offers them a place so their voice can be heard and they have a vote in ACTE related issues. We have instructional materials, we have support services, we have ROTC, we have teletech, and I mean, there's a myriad. And there's no requirement for it has to be a certain area or a certain focus. If they need a place for representation, we can provide that for them. The nice thing is we have all the bases covered. We can provide the academic side, we can provide a partner for that, we can provide the technical side, so the student that wants to go to college and still have a technical skill to support that, we can meet those needs. And the student that maybe doesn't want to go to college, they want to go in directly into a career, we can meet those needs too. So I think we're just going to continue to get stronger and stronger.
I love our division. Our division is comprised of a myriad of people throughout the nation. We are heavy focused in business and industry and in our skills centers, and other educators who are contract laborers, people who come in and teach for us, typically in adult programs in the evening in short-term instruction. Nationally, though, we're comprised of people who even encompass colleges and universities and other instructional kinds of leaders. My name is Andrea Pogue, and I serve on the Board of Directors as the Vice President for Post-Secondary Adult Career Education. It has just been a really big blessing for me to be able to be involved and see not only what we do at the local level and the state level, but also nationally. We also do a tremendous amount of work with career and technical skill and identifying skills gaps. But for me, I think some of the things that we want to definitely see in post-secondary are more resources related to business and industry. I love serving our division. It's been a huge shot in the arm for me to be able to serve our association this way.
And technology is ever-changing. With career and technical education programs, you can keep up to date with the skills needed to succeed. Are you ready to take that step? Career and technical education prepares students and adults to be college and career ready for the jobs they want.
My career and technical education program helped me prepare for a career in TV production.
Automotive technology, machinist.
Criminal justice, architectural drafting.
CTE classes also can help increase employability skills in America's future workforce. 1.5 million future workers are already involved in the many career and technical programs, and you can be too. Career and technical education is for everyone. Take that step today. For more information, visit www.acteonline.org.
Everybody has a dream of who they want to be. The moment when somebody asks you what you want to become, and the only thing you can come up with is, I don't really know, is the second you give up on your dreams. But for the ones who dream, who think, who create, and who are driven to become what they want, are the ones who will be successful. Those are the ones who don't give up, who don't let criticism get in their way. Growing up, you've always heard to dream your wildest dreams, but dreaming is only the beginning. People want you to succeed, who want to help you reach your dreams. Parents, teachers, they're all saying the same thing. You can follow your passion. Don't let fear overcome you. You can achieve those dreams. Fight for your passion, do what you love, and forget the rest.
Why should you do CTE in this fast-moving world?
I did it because I wanted to help you.
We did it because we're a team. We did it to make friends.
I did it because I wanted to learn.
I did it to look amazing.
We did it because we're awesome.
I did it because I am skilled.
From cutting to cooking.
From welding
to building.
From designing to engineering.
I am CTE.
I am CTE.
I am CTE.
He is CTE. So is he.
I am CTE.
We are CTE.
You are CTE.
Be ready tomorrow. Be ready for your future. Be ready today. CTE, Career Technical Education.
%81 of all high school dropouts say they would have stayed in school if it offered courses relevant to the student's career. And I am part of that 81%. Growing up, my father taught me about machines, tools, and how to work hard. At my high school, I felt lost. The teacher tried to throw pointless information at me, and it just didn't click. During my junior year, I decided to drop out. Homeless and broke, I wandered the streets looking for my purpose in life. I then heard about CTE programs. Now, 2 years later, I'm attending a CTE college that fits me while training in a field that I've always dreamed of. Thanks to the CTE programs, I'm now back on track and ready for life. Some people work well in regular classes, but CTE classes are for everyone.
A hero can be anyone, even if an ordinary man or woman was doing something as simple as preparing food for the world, saving someone's life, or simply creating entertainment for our enjoyment. To let everyone know that the world is full of heroes. Learn more about career and technical education at www.ctmonth.com.
very excited and fortunate to have this building here. We're right here on King Street, which is a mecca for associations. This building has a long history and the members have been very proud. We're at a very great location, especially for our policy staff, because we're so close to Capitol Hill.
We have staff here at ACTE who go up to the Hill every week, almost every day really. We're up there as your representative in Washington talking about what types of legislation need to be drafted, and we're actually doing that drafting in many cases.
Good morning. I call to order the opening session of the 2014 Arkansas Career and Technical Educators Conference. I welcome you to the 84th opportunity for us to gather as educators, to learn, to network, to share, to visit with new friends and old friends. Your board has been working very hard all year to bring these opportunities to you. ACTE works because you work. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for coming today, and I do hope that you will enjoy the next 2 days or more of professional development. We're here for knowledge, we're here for training, we're here for inspiration, we're here for motivation. At this time, I would like Jimmy Stroud from Hector High School to join me on the podium, and also Shelby Helser, a senior at Gravette High School, if you will join me as well on the podium. Please stand and join us in honoring God and country. The invocation will be given today by Jimmy Stroud.
Would you please bow with me? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for the safe arrival of each one of us as we gather together for this conference. Father, as we are about to begin our meetings, we do so with the awareness that without your divine presence here with us today, our work will be empty. We pray for your guidance in all matters at hand as we start a new school year, and we ask for your help in guiding us, inspiring us, and to make us ready and willing to be available for our students as we strive to make a difference in each child's life. Father, help us to work together and to encourage each other to excellence, that we may reach higher, and Father, to be the best that we can be for the good of our students, our schools, and our communities. Bless us and guide us as we continue to do your work. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. You may be seated. If you would, please join me in expressing our appreciation to the Rivercrest AJROTC, to Miss Shelby Helser for that beautiful rendition of our national anthem, and thank you, Jimmy, for the invocation. My name is David Fisher. I am not your president. I am your president-elect. And only by the grace of God can I stand here this morning, because my heart is broken. I'm sure most all of you know, but we told the story dozens of times yesterday. Our President, Angela Scott, was killed in an accident July 8th. No one can take her place. No one can fill her shoes. But together, we are going to go forward, because that's what Angela would expect us to do. At this time, I would like to introduce our new executive director, Harry Almond. Harry has stepped in, taken on much of what Angela had started, and worked tirelessly as Angela worked tirelessly in preparing for this conference. We ask that you be patient, that you understand that many changes had to be made. We're going to do our very best to make this the best career and technical education summer conference we've ever had. Angela worked hard for it, and we're going to give nothing less than our best, and we would appreciate your patience and your understanding. Harry?
Thank you, and welcome to the new improved Arkansas Career and Technical Educators Conference. You have already noticed many changes, and I'm sorry for the registration glitch. It's a mess, but we'll fix it. Bear with us, okay? Lots of things have changed since July 8th. Many of you have met my wife. She's at the registration desk. If you've not met her, go by and speak to her. And FBLA people, yes, there is a Paula. She's there. I will begin my 24th year of teaching at Gravette High School. Never did I believe I would teach school. I always said, I won't do it. Dad was a teacher, Mom was a teacher. I've got 3 sisters who are teachers. Both of my grandmothers were teachers. I said, no. I went into accounting. I said, I'm not doing that classroom thing. Well, as fate comes along, slaps you around a little bit and says, there you go. 24 years later, here I am. I have learned so much about ACTE since November. I had no idea what went on to get this program ready to go. Seriously, I had no idea. Most of you have no clue. The hours and hours that Angie worked on it. We would sit before school, after school, and a lot of the time during lunch going over this schedule, trying to get things set up, trying to make sure we had everything covered for every one of you. Tirelessly she worked, and then she was gone. Dave has written a wonderful tribute to Angela in your book. Words can't express everything. Having worked with her for 19 years, very closely with her for the last 8 months. We traveled together. I've watched her kids grow up. She had a daughter that graduated in May. Her son will start 9th grade. It's a terrible time to lose a mother. Compounding this with the fact that I lost my mother in April. We lost Cindy DeWitt, our liaison here with the convention center with cancer. We lost Oscar Winters from BSW, who is the owner of BSW Advertising, who did the blankets for us. Do you like them? Okay. That was Angela's doing. She said, you people are not going to be cold. And then July 8th. Now, let's watch this tribute that Trent Jones has made for us concerning our late President, Angie.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my Yes, it was my way.
ACTE has lost a force. Thank you.
Trent, I want to thank you for putting that together for us. If you knew Angela, and I hope you did, you know she did it her way. If you really know Angela, that song is so appropriate. She did it her way. And this conference is going to be done her way, in her memory. Thank you for coming. As Angela would say, okay, that's enough of that. We've got important things to do. Let's move on. Because Angela was never about Angela. Angela was about her students, her fellow teachers, educators everywhere. This is your conference. She worked very hard for it, and we're going to make it good. At this time, I would like to welcome to the stage the Director of the Arkansas Department of Career Education, William Walker. Director Walker. I hate to make you follow, but I know you can do it.
Thank you, Dave, and good morning.
Good morning.
It is a special occasion that we meet with mixed emotions. I am certain that Angela, as has already been said, would want us to make this the best conference we ever had. I know right now she's walking around heaven, checking the good Lord's temperature and making sure that he's healthy and that he's ready and prepared to keep all of us safe and healthy and going. She was a very special lady. I think we are better because she served. Her students are better because she taught. Her family is better because she was a mother, spouse, a leader. And as you've already said, and she helped coin this, superheroes. we should not today hold our head down. This really ought to be a celebration of her life, of her legacy, of her works, of her good deeds. And believe me, the work that she did and the work that you do every day is worth celebrating. So we should not hang our heads low. We should not, this is not a sad occasion, this is a celebration. So I want to come to you again this morning and say good morning, CTE superheroes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am excited to be present with you here today. I'm delighted to bring greetings. I'm delighted to stand on the stage and to be a part of, in a very small way, what Angela has already worked on for you and for all of us. But most importantly, she worked on this to prepare you to make sure that the students that you are going to see in your classrooms will continue to strive to be the superheroes of tomorrow, will continue to strive to be the leaders of tomorrow, and will continue to strive to have the passion and the dedication and the commitment that Angela shared in her life. That's how we celebrate her life. That's how we come to this conference. We come with an open heart, yes, full, yes, sad that she's no longer with us in person, but she remains with us in spirit. She remains with us in the work and in the stuff that you will experience. Even the challenges that we face with registration, she'll remain with us because she'll just say, let's keep going. Because you take those things that others would somehow feel like that are broken, whether they be systems or whether they be our students. And every day you specialize in working with young people, whether it's in HOSA or you name whatever it might be, that are our future, and you prepare them, you fix them, you encourage them, you fight for them, you work for them every day. And they become our leaders. They become our future. They become tomorrow leaders in Arkansas and in our nation. And that you must do. Even better now that you've been exposed to, that you've been experienced the life and the legacy and the works of Angela. And so I want to welcome you to Angela's conference. I want to welcome you to this conference, and I want to challenge you to keep doing what you're doing, but do it better. You know, go as far as you can go, as my daddy would tell me, and when you get there, you'll be able to go farther, so keep going further. And those, frankly speaking, are my comments. I want to welcome you. That was not my prepared remarks. I know that it was important, or is it important, that I should acknowledge all of you, but I especially want to acknowledge the people that I'm privileged to work with every day. Within the Arkansas Department of Career Education, I want to acknowledge all of the staff, especially that staff that's being led by one of your own, who I am so very proud of, and I want you to give a round of applause for not only the staff, but Sister Sandra Porter, who is the Deputy Director for Career and Technical Education. Come on, you can do better than that. Come on, you can do better than that, ACTE. To your Acting President, Dave Fisher, and to all of you all again, let's make this a celebration. Let's make this a celebration. Let's leave here armed with the ammunition and the preparation and the training that she prepared for you to share with your students. Let's go to those trainings and make them the best they've ever been. And then let's take it from there and let's make these students better than they could ever be. That's how we pay tribute. That's what this ought to be about. So I didn't come here to make a speech, and I need to stop. But I, too, got caught up in the moment, and I want to thank that lady that sung. I tell you what, it's really tough to follow the voice of a Dave Fisher. And the singing, what's that young lady's name? She did an awesome job. Let's give her a round of applause again. Shelby. As always, in closing, CTE, we've got some challenges, but I tell you what, our time has come. I think business and industry across this state, across this nation, I think our political leaders, I think our legislators finally understand if you want to raise the per capita income, if you want to meet the growing demand for qualified workers, not only those business and industry that are currently here, but those that want to come, by golly, you got to come through CTE, and you got to start giving and paying attention, and you got to fund it, and you got to support it, and you got to work for it. I think they finally understand that. So we've come this far. We worked this hard. And I think that you're going to be proud. So stay vigilant, stay committed, work harder, do better, because the best of you and your students is yet to come. And those folks that finally get it, I think they really get it now. So thank you. Have a great conference. God bless you, and let's go to work. Thanks a lot.
This year, we are recognizing 2 of our CTSO groups. They're going to assist the executive committee and the board in facilitating our conference. You will be seeing them frequently at the sessions. They're going to have a very important job in addition to being our ambassadors. You'll see FBLA, DECA, and FFA students. One of their duties is going to be to determine when the session is full. And they will put a sign up at the door saying, "This session is full. Please find another session to attend." Many of the sessions will be repeated. So if you can't get into a session, check your program and hopefully you'll be able to get into the next time that session is presented. Our first group to be recognized is FBLA. Please welcome the FBLA State President, Maddie HAR-BER from Paris High School.
Thank you. As Mr. Fisher said, my name is Maddie HAR-BER, and I'm proudly serving as Arkansas FBLA State President. It is a privilege to be here today, bringing greetings on Arkansas future business leaders of America. As Dan Rather once said, the dream begins with a teacher who believes in you, who tugs and pushes and leads you to the next plateau. As career and technical educators, you have the opportunity every day to help your students achieve their dreams. I know you all give countless hours to your students in the classrooms and your student organizations, and I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for all that you do for your students. I hope as the school year begins, you will remember to believe in your students, to tug and push them when they need it, and they will reach heights they never imagined. Thank you and have a good conference.
Thank you, Maddie. Our second group is DECA. Please welcome the Vice President for Civic Consciousness, Madeline Hobson.
Good morning. My name is Madeline Hobson, and I am currently holding the position of Vice President of Civic Consciousness. Civic Consciousness is about philanthropy and DECA giving back. MDA is our national charity to which we will be continuing to honor this year. But our statewide charity is the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which after we raise a certain amount of money, we are able to grant a wish to a child that is ill in the state of Arkansas. Other goals we anticipate to accomplish in this year is a mock competition for all of our members so that for state and international conferences, they are better prepared. Just so kids know, DECA is more than a blazer, the $15 dues and a couple conferences. We are encouraging more social media because as teachers, you know we all check our phones in classrooms when we think you're not looking. We want them to know that DECA is creating the next generation of entrepreneurs by providing us with an educational foundation of the business world while we are still in high school. DECA encourages students to not only think, but go above and beyond and be leaders and entrepreneurs in our schools, communities, and nationwide. So thank you to all of our teachers and advisors that help us be the students we are today. Thank you.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Madeline. And thank our FFA state officers who have also joined us today that will be serving as ambassadors. After all, they're why we're here. Another young lady stepped forward to be of tremendous assistance to us this year. Sherry Seiler has been a driving force in Arkansas Career and Technical Education in the DECA organization for many years. She is now the Region 4 Vice President, serving on the executive team. Please welcome Sherry Seiler.
I too want to echo my appreciation for Angie and Oscar and Cindy, who provided leadership and support and enthusiasm and just friendship for all of us here in the CTE community. We will miss them tremendously. But after rain comes a rainbow, as Maddie and Madeline can attest to. And that is why we come to this conference and why we show up at school every day. So it is with great pleasure that I bring you greetings from Region 4 and know that I am here to serve you as your representative on the board. Please see me if you have any comments, need some help, or just have a question, and if I don't know it, I'll try to find an answer for you. Please enjoy the conference as we gain in our knowledge base and we take that back to our classrooms and to our schools to impact the students that we have every day. Remember, if I can be of service to you, please find me here at the conference. Please enjoy your days. Thank you.
Okay, I'll have to stretch. I need that box, Sandra. Okay. At this time, every year, something that we do and proudly do is that the very first person that registers for this conference is awarded the early bird. And that early bird person this year is a teacher at Morrilton Junior High, Shania Rogers. So if you'll come forward, Shania, we'd like to award you with your special birdhouse. And along with that, next year you get a free registration to this conference. Is she here? There she is. You have to come all the way up here. Well, I guess not. He's coming to you. Please congratulate her. At this time, we also like to recognize an outstanding person that is nominated and selected by your board, and as a person that is recognized for outstanding service to ACTE, and that a person that has gone beyond and above whatever needs to be done, especially as far as career technical education is concerned. And we'd like to recognize at this time our one and only Sandra Porter for this honor. Send her back with an applause again, please. Did I say it was a Jane McIntyre? That's a Jane McIntyre Award. I don't remember if I said that or not. Short-term memory loss, I don't know. But anyway, that's what it is, outside of the Jane McIntyre Award. And in honor of Jane McIntyre, one of our long-time career technical educators in business education that served ACTE very well, and this award was given in her honor and has been given for several years. So, sorry if I didn't say that. Dave, it's your turn. You gotta.
Well, we're gonna work Sandra to death here today. We have had a multitude of changes in CTE, and you better grab a hold and hang on, because we've got even more changes coming up. And we have two individuals who are going to speak to you briefly this morning about some of those changes. The first person we would like to call up is the Interim Deputy Director for the Arkansas Department of Career Education, Sandra Porter, with the State of the State address.
Oops. I have to do that. It doesn't do it. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you. Dave's the AV person. Well, thank you for being here today. I would be remiss if I don't say something about Angela, because Angela and I had known Angela for a long time, for just the last 2 years. But like a lot of you that knew Angela, you know, you don't have to know her very long for her to become a part of your life. And she and I talked frequently, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. And when we talked about what we wanted to change in ACTE for the conference, we had many, many long conversations. And she would call me, and she liked to call me around 4 o'clock. And, you know, her day was over with, and my day was getting close to being over with, and she would be in the car calling me, and we would talk. And then we would meet, and we would sit, and we would talk some more. And but we had a vision for what ACTE should be, as the other board members did as well. And we knew we needed to change because times are changing. And I'm going to miss those 4 o'clock phone calls and those emails. In fact, I thought about the last email she sent me, and I sent her back, and I think it was the day before she passed away. And of course, I never did get an answer to my last email to her. So, and in fact, Dave and I called her the morning of July 8th because we had a question. And I said, well, just call Angela, because anybody that knows me knows I just get out my phone and call if I have a question. And we went direct to voicemail, and I said, well, she's on the phone. Well, unfortunately, that was not what the case was. And we found out just about an hour and a half later that she had been in that car accident. So I will, as many will, personally miss Angela and her enthusiasm. And I know Dave and I have talked, and Linda, when did she sleep? Because, you know, she taught school. If you talk to Barbara Diamond, she'll say she doesn't know what her HOSA organization is going to do without her. She was an ER nurse, full-time nurse on the weekend, and did everywhere I went, Angela was there. I don't think she slept. But I know she did. But she was a real worker for ACTE, and she and I, as many of the other people in this room did, shared a passion for CTE and for ACTE. So I felt like, I know we've talked a lot about Angela, but I just had to say that. Now, I'm not actually going to do the state of the state. I'm going to do a CTE update at a session. So when Angela asked me to come and talk today, I said sure. I would be glad to. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to talk about, but I knew that I wanted to have one theme, and I knew that we needed to talk about how you were going to respond to some of the questions that you may have over the next year. Because as the director alluded to and talked about, this is a critical time for career and technical ed in the state of Arkansas, as well as across the nation. We are being recognized for the good work that we do. But when we go into the legislative session in 2015, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to have a lot of wants and a lot of needs, and the legislators will have to set priorities. And we would like to see career and technical ed as one of their priorities. We are meeting constantly with legislators, with the post-secondary, with the secondary, with the Department of Ed, with economic development, with workforce services. Those conversations are going on all the time. But when 2015 comes, choices will have to be made. And we need your help, because you are the closest to your local legislator. You have to be ready to answer the question on why CTE. What do you do? Why is it important? So what I wanted to do was just say you need to be an advocate for career and technical ed. Not just your program. You definitely need to be an advocate for your program, but you need to be an advocate for career and technical education, because you are going to be the ones that are out in the state and that the legislators or business people are going to be talking to. I'm not going to be everywhere. The director can't be everywhere, but you will be everywhere. So you need to be ready to have some talking points. And I know Doug Major is going to talk as well. He's the past president of ACTE. So hopefully we'll kind of say some of the same things. Those of you who are members of ACTE, they have a wonderful website. You need to go there to get information on the national level. So I'm going to be talking to you a little bit today about the national data for CTE, but I also in my session have the state data. We're doing very well with the state data. So I just have 4 slides, so it's not going to take very long for me to get through this. But what I want you to look at, and we've got some new technology here, so if I'm looking down, I'm going to try to look out too. It's not new for most people, but it's new for us. CTE works for Arkansas students and for business. And what I have in red is what I want you to remember. 1, it prepares students for college and career ready. Now, you know, we've had a difficulty deciding what is college and career ready. We haven't had much difficulty understanding what college ready is. If they can do an ACT score and they've gone through the SMART core, then they should be college ready. Well, what is an ACT score? An ACT score is a test score that day. Unfortunately, it depends on that test score what kind of scholarships you get. So it's important that you do well on those ACT scores, but does that make you college ready? Some would say yes, some would say no. But what does it mean to be career ready? So if you're career ready, and I've always really had a problem with career ready and college ready because I'm thinking everybody's going to end up in a career. So what does it mean to be career ready? So CTE helps both. It helps you be college ready and it helps you be career ready because you'll be ready to go out and you'll have a career focus. But let's just look at what this says. And I took this off ACTE's website. I tweaked it a little bit. But if you're career ready, you're going to have the core academic skills because you've got to be able to read, write, and do arithmetic. You're going to have those employability skills. Now, when we talk with business leaders, you know what they say to us? Just send us somebody that can read, can come to work, and do a little math, and we'll take care of the rest. And drug-free, by the way. They'd like for you to be drug-free. But what they want you to be able to do is have a good work ethic. Well, who teaches that? Who teaches those employability skills? We teach those employability skills. And at the department, we're looking at those employability skills, or soft skills, whatever you want to call them, to be infused into every class that we teach. So, CTE works because it prepares students to be college and career ready. CTE works because it fulfills employer needs. Right now, there is a big movement to see what does business need? What is the gap? Where are those jobs? Everybody has their own idea. But those jobs are, and we're going to talk about what are middle skilled jobs in just a minute, but those middle skilled jobs is what we teach. It's the welding, it's the construction trades, it's the health professions, it's all of those types of things, those middle skill jobs. By the way, where the jobs are. The jobs are in the middle skills. So, and middle skills just means it doesn't take a 4-year degree. It may lead to a 4-year degree, but you can get a pretty good job and probably paying more than most you and I make right out of the gate. So we've got to prepare our students for that, and we've got to fulfill the employer needs. And of course, CTE works because it educates students. We have good data on a student that goes through a CTE program. They are more likely to graduate. In the state of Arkansas, for a CTE student who has completed a career-focused program of study, 90% of them graduate and go on to college. So, CTE works. Now, these are national data, so let's just look at that for a minute. And I just told you what the state average was, but if you look at this data that's national, you'll see that 81% of dropouts, that's those kids that drop out of school, say, why do I go to school? It's not relevant. Now, how many of you have said that? When I was sitting in an algebra class, I thought, when am I ever going to use this? In a geometry class. But if you're in a geometry class and you're also in construction trades or a family and consumer science sewing class or any of the other types of classes like that, do you know what you use geometry for? But you've got to see that relevancy of it. So they want to have a reason to be there. We've always known that our kids that we get involved in our courses, in our student organizations, they are more likely to graduate. So CTE works. It helps keep kids in school. Look at the next statistic. This is national. The average high school graduation for students concentrating in CTE programs is 90%. Compared to what? The national freshman graduation rate of 74.9. CTE works. Look at the next statistic. More than 70% of secondary CTE concentrators pursued a post-secondary education. Actually, the numbers are a little higher in Arkansas. So CTE works. CTE also works because it prepares post-secondary CTE students and adults for demanding careers. CTE is just not secondary. It's post-secondary as well. When we look at the career pathways, and we're looking at career pathways, it's not just what's happening in secondary, it's where does it lead to. All students and most jobs are going to need some post-secondary training. Now, post-secondary does not mean a 4-year degree. It could mean a 4-year degree. It could mean a 2-year degree. It could mean a certificate of completion. It could mean going to a 6 to 9 weeks trucking and learn how to be a truck driver. When we were up in Northwest Arkansas at the Northwest Regional Advisory, I sat in the business and marketing with recruiters from across Northwest Arkansas, and you know who they said they needed most? Truck drivers. They make good money. But that's not something we tell our kids that that's something you could do. So kids need to be aware of what are their career options. Now look at the next statistic. If you have a CTE-related associate degree or credential, you could earn an average of $4,000 to $19,000 more a year than someone with a humanities associate degree. I have a grandson right now that we spent in fact, grandparents are still paying off student loans for him because he wanted to go to Oklahoma City University, which is a artsy school, very expensive liberal arts school, to be an actor. He's now in New York City. He's been there for 2 years, still waiting tables. He finally got an audition after, well, it'll be almost 3 years. And I keep saying to him, Josh, what is Plan B? But until he turns 30, Plan B is not going to come around. So he's making fairly decent money waiting tables, but he's not paying his student loans. His mother's paying them, and his grandparents are paying them. And it's a bunch of money. So I wish he'd had Plan B when he was going through the 4-year degree. Look at the third statistic. 27 of people with less than associate degree, including licenses and certificates will earn more than the average bachelor degree. We've got students right now who go through the welding program, and if they're mobile, they can make anywhere from $70,000 to $90,000 a year. So, CTE works. CTE addresses the needs of the high-growth industries and helps close this gap. The skills industries can't be outsourced. You can't outsource your plumber. You can't outsource your HVAC person. You can't outsource your carpenter. Those jobs are there. CTE works. Healthcare occupations. We have a huge demand for healthcare occupations. In our 24 career centers, we have a medical professions program in every career center. That's a good entry place. They can come out with their CNA, and they can go on and probably will get an LPN, an RN, an EMT, maybe be a doctor, but it's a good transition. Health professions, 12 of the 20 fastest growing populations. STEM occupations, we are really into STEM, and I'm going to tell you what, I don't want you to be afraid of that word STEM, because STEM is in every one of your classes. We just need to be telling people they are. Is technology not in every class? There's some science in every class, there's some math. There may not be engineering in every class, but there's components of it. So don't be afraid when you hear the word STEM, that's not me. Yes, it is. STEM is you. So, and those types of jobs, it's just like industrial maintenance tech. We used to think that might be the custodian. No, that is not what that means today. So we've got to change the image of what is CTE. And of course, we talked about the middle skills jobs. And I just told you what that is. That just means it requires more training than what you get in secondary. And if you look at my last slide, and then I'll be through, Dave, this is what I want you to remember. CTE works. Those are the 3 points that I want you to remember. It prepares students for college and career ready. It fulfills employer needs, and it educates students for career options. Those are the 3 things you need to keep in your mind. When someone comes up and says to you, well, why do we need CTE? I think, isn't that just the shop class that we used to have? And you say no, and this is why. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. We have a neighbor joining us today from the neighboring state of Oklahoma. And you know, we like Oklahoma until it comes to football. Doug Major is the past president of the National ACTE. Doug is very active in our own Region 4 ACTE. And here to bring greetings from Nationals and also to bring us an update from National ACTE, please welcome Doug Major.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back in Arkansas, and I can say back in Arkansas with pride because I was born in Arkansas about 51 years ago in a little town up the road called Springdale. My dad was a veterinarian there, and granted I didn't live in Arkansas very long, but I've always been very proud of my heritage here. Been sitting for a little bit. I want you to do something real quick. It's something that's really dangerous for me because once I lose control, it'll be hard to get it back. But I know you want to stand up. So just stand up and turn to your neighbor and say, thank you for being involved in CTE.
Thank you.
Okay, that's enough. Time to get back to class. I too would be a little remiss if I didn't say a few words about Angela. I had the opportunity to know Angela and became very fond of Angela and the work that she did. And what I remember most about Angela is the commitment that she had to her students and the passion that she had to her students. And I think she was representative of what a true CTE professional is because why we're involved in this profession is because we see the possibilities in students that they don't see in themselves, and that's what Angela did. Now, at Angela's service, I also heard a story told by one of her former students, and he said when you weren't really living up to her expectations, she would give you a thing that was commonly known as the look. And I'm right there with the director. I believe Angela's in heaven, and I think right now she's probably giving me the look because I'm not doing what she wanted me to do, and that's to talk about the state of career and technical education in the United States. I want to talk first a little bit about ACTE and what it is. The Association for Career and Technical Education is the largest nonprofit organization in the world dedicated solely to the promotion of career and technical education. With over 23,000 members across this nation and around the world, we have really just one purpose, and that's to provide leadership in developing an educated, prepared, adaptable, and competitive workforce for our nation and for the world. We have several programs in which we try to do this, and we have many activities that we do, but one of the areas that we try to really develop is leadership in the profession. And that is through services that's a regional structure, which we have Sherry Seidler, who is the president for Region 4, or vice president on your board, the national board for Region 4. And then we have through the state associations. So we try to develop a structure and facilitate leadership development across the nation that gives us a united voice. A lot of people know about higher education. Everyone knows about common education. But not everyone has had the opportunity to experience career and technical education. And as that minority voice, we have to work together. We have to unite the profession to ensure that we are telling the story of what we do and the benefit it has to our country. We also work in policy and advocacy. We are your voice at this nation's capital. We have staff that works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, making sure that your issues are heard on Capitol Hill. Advocacy at the national level is something that we feel responsible for at ACTE. But we can't do that without your input, because you have issues here in Arkansas that are common in Oklahoma, that are also common in Nebraska, that are also common in Alaska. By bringing those commonalities together and sharing those concerns at the national level, we're able to influence policy on your behalf, but more importantly on the behalf of our students. Sharing information is another thing that we take very seriously. Sandra mentioned the website, acteonline.org. That is a wealth of information for you to use, not only in advocacy, but also in your classrooms every day, using those stories and those articles that are posted there for current events. One that came across this morning on my alert was that the most recent study shows that we don't need STEM careers. Do you believe that? I don't believe that either, because I believe, just as Sandra said, we have science, technology, engineering, math in all of our programs. But at the national level, there's a dialogue as to whether or not STEM is overrated. Wouldn't that be a great current event topic to share with your students? One of the most important things that we do is through bringing awareness of what we do, sharing the stories of your success and the success of your stories, your students, not only on our website, but through national media outlets. And we try to glean those stories from you, and we ask that you submit those stories to us so we can share those. Now, what Angela really wanted me to talk about, and that's why is CTE important, thus why is ACTE important. And I think Sandra covered a lot of the points. And I think that's great, because I think it shows that just as it is in the nation, it is in Arkansas. Career and technical education is going through what I call a renaissance. We are being looked at as the solution to the economic problems of this country. Sandra talked a lot about the skills gap, the gap between what employers expect students to have or employees to have and the skills that students are leaving school with. And we know that by going through a concentrated sequence of career tech programs, students gain the skills that employers need to help them be successful. There is a skills gap in the United States, and we are part of that solution. But we have to tell our story. We have to share with others why we're part of that solution, how we're part of that solution. There's a lot of talk about high school reform. How do we make high schools better? And even at the national level, we're hearing that the answer to that question is career and technical education. So yes, there is a renaissance in career and technical education. It's a great opportunity for us, but it's also a great responsibility. Because unless we're able to prove and demonstrate that our high-quality programs do all of those things that Sandra listed on the screen, then we're going to be forgotten again, and we can't be put in that position. And so I have a challenge for you today, and that is for you to look at your program, whether or not you're a teacher or you're an administrator. Look at your program and make sure that it is high quality, that it does challenge students, that it does lead to an outcome that helps a student be successful in a career, whether that career requires additional education through higher education or whether that career is accessible at the completion of your program. High quality CTE is the answer. We can't be Grandpa's Oldsmobile. We have to be modern CTE. And if we have programs that aren't high quality, we need to let those go. What are some accomplishments of ACTE recently? We changed our name to Career and Technical Education how many years ago? 20? 25? Up until last year in the U.S. Department of Ed, that entity that worked with career and technical education was the Office of Vocational and Adult Education, OVE. Finally, last year, through lots of years of work and advocacy, we were able to help them change their name to the Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education. Seems like a minor thing, but when we go to the Hill and we talk about career tech, when Congress looks at the Department of Ed and they're still using vocational education, that's a challenge for us because we confuse the audience that we need to be uniting. We also work to establish a caucus in the U.S. Senate that focuses on career and technical education. We've had one in the House for years. But this last year we were able to get a Senate caucus to help us promote career and technical education. This past year in the budget we were able to get most of the Perkins funds restored to pre-sequestration levels. And that's quite an accomplishment because the mantra at the U.S. level right now is there just isn't any money. And then we've also been able to work with the Elementary and Secondary Education Act to get some amendments made that recognize the importance of career and technical education in that middle school and high school experience. So we're making a difference, and it's beginning to show. This last year at our Vision 2013 conference, it was the first time ever that we had the U.S. Secretary of Education attend a Career and Technical Education National Conference. That was quite an accomplishment for us, and we're very proud of that. We also have established a stronger relationship with the National Association of State Directors of Career and Technical Education, and we're commissioning more research to be done on what is high-quality CTE so we can give you tools to use in your classroom. In addition to that, we continue to promote CTE month type activities to promote awareness of your students and what they do. And we're also strengthening our international presence. This past June, I had the opportunity to travel to China to look at career and technical education because we have an institutional member of ACTE that is a vocational school in China. And what I found was that many of the issues that we're experiencing here in the United States are the same issues they have there. But what I also noticed is that many of the companies that are doing business in China are the same companies that are doing business in the United States, and they're doing business in Germany. And just as when I was an FFA member at Kingfisher High School going through the program, I never envisioned that I would be an international ambassador for ACTE to a foreign country. We need to be preparing our students for that possibility because your students might go to work for a company that has an international presence, and they might be able to go to that country and make a huge difference. So what you're doing in your classroom today when you work with students doesn't just affect your hometown. It doesn't just affect Arkansas. It doesn't just affect the United States. What you're doing in your classroom every day affects the world. But more importantly, what you're doing in your classroom every day affects at least one life. And I want to thank you for being a career tech educator, and thank you for letting me be at your conference.
If you'll notice on the reverse side of our tribute to Angela, with her picture and the article up here, and I'd also like to thank Sandy Hubbard and Deborah Germany at our communications office, who not only designed the program but designed that tribute to Angela as well. You can see some changes, some additions that we have there. I would also like to add that our computer engineering technology will have sessions today at 11:05 and tomorrow at 8 a.m. Those will be located in the Embassy Suites Salon C. That's at the Embassy Hotel. Also, the engineering technology education, and that's ETE. If you don't know what ETE stands for, and I hear people say, what does ETE stand for? You can tell them with confidence, oh, that's engineering technology education. ETE will have sessions today from 12:15 to 2:05 in Embassy Suites Salon C. And I do not want people to have to walk a long ways, and we also have sessions in the Austin. But if you look at that program, you will see that we have between 9 and 14 sessions every hour. That's a lot of opportunities. So that's why we've had to branch out. We filled every room. In the convention center, we had to pick up rooms in the embassy, and we had to pick up rooms in the Austin just to make a place for everyone who wanted to come and speak to you and demonstrate to you or present to you. As Sandra mentioned a little bit ago, she will be giving the Arkansas CTE update Tuesday at 10:15. Sandra will be in room 104 and 105. On Tuesday, tomorrow, all the medical professions workshops that have been scheduled for room 202 in your program have been moved to the Austin Hotel, the first floor in the Silver Fox room. That is tomorrow for all medical profession workshops that had been scheduled in room 202. The number of registrations we had for our medical professions in no way, shape, or form could have fit in the room we thought would be appropriate for you. And that's Tuesday only. The medical professions sessions today are where they say they are in the program. We have a MedPro presenter tomorrow from 8:30 until 10, and that will be Karen Kennedy. She is from the Pulaski County Special School District. That again is tomorrow from 8:30 to 10, and that will be in the Austin on the first floor. From the Arkansas Department of Education, we have Ivy Pfeffer. She will be presenting on tests for CTE. She will be in room 205 on Tuesday at 10:15. That is not in your program. Also on page 26 in the program, we will have food lab demonstrations. They will be Tuesday afternoon beginning at 2:30. They will be in Exhibition Hall A. I also want to remind you that tonight from 6 to 9 at the Embassy Presidential Suite, the Central Arkansas Building Trades Council, the Arkansas Apprenticeship Coalition Steering Committee, and the Arkansas Apprentice Coalition will be having their hospitality suite with delicious food, beverage, and you are most welcome to attend. That's tonight from 6 to 9 in the presidential suite at the embassy. And again, please do look over the additions and corrections that are on the insert with your program. Linda? Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You will notice in the back of your program, the very back, the professional development sheet. And this lists everything from activities we had yesterday, if you were here and participated in any of those, the opening session, all of the breakouts, and the closing session. It is important that you keep this one page, that you fill it out with what you attend. After our conference is over, from July 30th, not today or tomorrow, from July 30th through August 30th, if you will go to the ACT online website, and the address is right here at the bottom of the page, it will allow you to take a very brief survey giving us your opinion of our conference. Please fill out the survey. Please be honest. If it was good, we want to know about it. If it wasn't good, we want to know about it so we can make it better next year. We tried a lot of new things. We hope they all work. Chances are they won't. Tell us what you think. We need to know what you want and what you need in order to provide it to you. Please do the survey. It will only take you about a minute. I think there's 5 or 6 questions. Click, 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 and it's done. Now, once you do that survey, it will allow you to print your professional development certificate, which has the ADE and the ACE numbers on it and my name. That will be your proof of professional development. That needs to be kept with this sheet that you fill out. Those two together will be anything and everything you will need for your district and for the state. Go to the website, fill out the survey, and then print off your certificate. You must print off your certificate between July 30th and August 30th. After August 30th, it won't print, we won't print, you will not be able to get that certificate. Please go between the 30th of July and the 30th of August and print out your certificate, fill out your back page, and keep it with you. Dr. Linda Bean.
You turn my page here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Hand me my notebook. There you go. All right. At this time, as you know, every year we provide scholarships, and this year we had 8 scholarship winners. They are listed in your program on page 31, and they will be recognized personally. Their name called out tomorrow. But at this time, I'd want to remind you, please nominate your students for these scholarships. We like to give away money. And this year we're giving away $4,000. We'll talk about that a little bit more specifically tomorrow. As you know, it does take a village to do this program and conference every year. And so at this point in time, if you are a board member or committee chair, would you please stand so that we can recognize you? Thank you so much for your work, because we would not be here if it would not for every one of these persons that helped us out through the year to plan this conference. And if you're interested in being a part of that, you know, we need you, especially you young people. Just get ready. We're going to hunt you down. Okay, Dave.
Thank you. Moving right along. Oh, you turned my page. Harry, she's laughing at us again. If you see Harry and I going, it's because we hear this laughter, and we know it's Angela laughing at every time we mess up, every time there is some major faux pas. We hear Angela laughing at us. She's enjoying this, I promise you. Okay. No, I can't. You just tore everything up, Linda. I don't know where anything is. Okay. Jim, will you be heartbroken if I don't ask you to come up and speak about the CTE fund? Okay. Gloria and Cheryl, will y'all be upset if I don't have y'all come up and speak about the silent auction? Is it okay? Okay. Because I want to move along quickly. We have silent auction. They're in the exhibit hall, and you can go place your bids on those wonderful items until about 2 o'clock, 2:30 Tuesday afternoon. And also, all board members and committee members of the CTE Support Committee have raffle tickets. It's the same thing we do every year. We will draw for a $100, $50, and two $25 cash prizes. So see any member of the CTE Support Committee or any of your board member representatives, and they will have tickets to sell you. Be sure and buy from your own division, because the division with the most individual tickets sold gets an extra drawing for that second $25 prize. Right, the tickets are in the sack, the various sacks at the ACTE booth. We also want to remind you that we do have a charging station at the ACTE booth. So if your device is running low, stop by there and charge it up. I want to tell you that we are having lunch in Exhibit Hall A. We'll have 2 sessions. Please attend the lunch with your division. There'll be 2 groups at 2 different times, 11:05 and 12:05. And be sure that you attend and enjoy that luncheon if you registered for the luncheon. Okay. Our refreshments this morning and this afternoon are being provided by our good friends at Microsoft. So go by and visit with them and enjoy the refreshments this morning and this afternoon. Tomorrow, Future Tech and BSW Advertising will be providing our refreshments. The luncheon today and all 4 of the refreshment sessions are in Exhibit Hall A. At this time, I would like for you to adjourn to Exhibit Hall A, enjoy the refreshments, and please attend your division meeting at approximately 10:15. Thank you. Have a great conference. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Sandra. That flat, I think McIntyre is misspelled. Well, do you want us to get you a new one with McIntyre spelled? Is it not E instead of I? Or it's, yeah, it's Thank you, Sandra.